walking down the aisle is usually ends up perfect.
Well, definitely. It's just the fact that, no matter what happens during the ceremony after, as you said, it's the fact that you're surrounded by people who love, care, and support you, whether they're friends, family, whoever. I mean, obviously, you're not inviting some random person to your wedding or some of that. It's always, usually close family and friends and whatnot,
Right.
whether at the ceremony, the reception, however you do it. But just that fact that you have that kind of support net, if you will, and everyone there is supposed to be considered in their own way in the support net. Like I said, whether they're blood relatives, through marriage,
Right.
friends, whatever, just anyone who's there, to just support. I feel, if showing up to a wedding. I mean, I went to, oh gosh, what was it, 3 weddings this past summer, and that was,
Man,
I was tired out of doing them.
you feel like I'm tapped out. No more.
The dry cleaning bill was absolutely ridiculous, but no, it was nice because in all of those situations, I mean, 2 of them I showed up to the service and everything like that, but the other ones, it was I just went to reception, but it was always the same thing. Everyone there, not a lot of people didn't know each other, but at the same time, it was always that close net, like I said, support group, if you will. The people who are always there who love and care for you, and
Right.
that's what made the weddings, in all these situations was, the fact that everyone's there to give you support. Whether it's in terms of being a shoulder to cry on or just a friend of the family. I know like my best friend's little brother got married last summer, and I went to I had the honor of getting invited to the reception, and in that case. I mean,
Were you just invited to the reception?
yeah, it was just a reception.
That's kind of different.
Yeah, they had a private wedding, which I can understand. That's
Right.
fine, because they wanted it kind of small and everything like that. But at the reception service, it was nice because their direct friends were there, and I was more invited as like a friend of the family. But
Right.
at the same time, I was like, I'm there to support you and everything like that. I mean, I'm not your best closest friend by any mean, but just the fact that I like to think that I was considered some in some way part of the family or part of the safety net. As I
Right.
mentioned, that I was very supportive of it and everything like that. But it's just it just made it just makes the wedding that much more perfect. And I mean, sure, maybe the cake gets dropped on the way, or if you have caviar, it got cracked open and it's spoiled or something like that. Just little things like that are just kind of silly. But if if you're missing someone that you love or care about at your wedding, that's what makes it really hard.
Right.
And thankfully, Allison didn't have to go through this, having Chris and her awesome fiance.
Right. Yeah, I just yeah, I couldn't even imagine the certain people not being at my
Right.
wedding. So it's one of those that I mean, I couldn't even imagine it.
Hmm.
And I bet there's a lot of people out there that go or have to walk down the aisle missing something.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'd say, I mean, unfortunately, it's just kind of the circumstances of life. It's beyond your control, but you do what you can to make the best of it, obviously, and and turn a bad situation something good. So that's always the the goal, I guess, in life in any situation. But just getting that to actually end up happening, and kind of bringing a silver lining to it, if you will. That's definitely awesome. So
Right. Yeah, like I said, I couldn't imagine it, but this surprise, I guarantee I don't think she'll ever forget this.
no,
I
definitely
really
not.
don't. So that's kind of what made it happen. Like, I was kind of struggling to find stories. I'm like, no, this and this and this. And last night, a couple nights ago, my glasses broke.
Mhm.
And it wasn't even like I could tape it and, wait for a little bit. I mean, it
Right.
was literally broke right at the solder.
Hmm.
There was no way to reattach it unless I glued it, but
Nah.
because it was a manufacturing thing, if I glued it, I probably wouldn't get it free. I wouldn't have gotten them replaced.
Right. Right.
But luckily, the eye doctor I have, they've broke so many times that whether I have to pay for them or not, I usually can go right there, and if they have them on the rack
Mhm.
and it's the right lens size,
Right.
they'll throw them. And both of my lenses are good. I'll throw my lenses in,
Mhm.
take my old pair, or just order a new pair for their display models, and I'm all set.
Right.
That's pretty much what they did today. I had to go all day yesterday wearing sunglasses. I had to go. The day before wasn't too bad because they broke that night. So I woke up all day yesterday. I wore sunglasses, and then all the way until this morning, I had to get up early this morning and head into my eye doctor. And so it's, I'm trying to remember where I was gonna go with this. I was on a roundabout loop. Um, anyway, so it just the little things that happen, you know, aren't really what matter. It's all the big
Right.
things.
Well, it's kind of like I said earlier, almost like contingency plans. If you have like a backup plan for your backup plan for your backup plan. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. No, I don't really have much of a contingency if my glasses break. I mean, I've been pretty lucky. Mine have flown out of a car at 60 miles an hour and just have a scratch on the side of them. But hey,
Nice.
that's what you get when you got plastic glasses.
Mine were metal too. Like I said, they broke right at the solder, and I can't even. Going into my eye doctor, I had said, okay, if they can't get them fixed, or if I can't get something done today, I'm gonna call in.
Yeah.
If I can, I'm gonna rush to work because they opened at 9. I pretty much usually leave at 9 to get to work by 9:30, so I
Right.
can be there a little bit early to do some stuff. Because like when you work in retail and you have a register in your department, you got to go and get all the money for your register and take it and put it in. And because I work at a range, I got to turn on the filtration system. And
Right.
there's all the little things that I have to do. And I'm told that I can come in. I've been told by several people I can come in a little bit early so I can get all that stuff done because after 10 o'clock, I've got to have somebody walk me up if I have money.
Yeah.
And things like that. So it's easier because if I come in at 9:30, it gives me a little bit of leeway because I can get there at 9:45. I've been there at 10 before. As long as I clock in at about 10 or a little bit before.
Right.
Like I've clocked in at 9:30 and haven't gotten in trouble. And because I don't go over 40 hours. So then I'll just, grab my money and whatnot. Well, today I had to call because I was going to be 10 minutes late because by the time I was supposed to have a meeting after work, so I, forgot my stuff at home, so I got my glasses fixed. I had to run home, and then I needed gas, so I got gas, and it was just like a million things that I had to do, and it was like,
It's always when you're running late, too.
It is too. It really is. But yeah, no. So kind of back to the story. I really like how this husband was kind of, I got an idea and kind of. And he used the family too. The mom was the one that picked him up from the airport, and the sister was the one. I'm assuming it was the sister was the one filming it, and so that was fantastic. You know what also was fantastic though? Dogs.
Dog's named Audi too.
So there's 2 dogs, and you know as well as I do because you've seen my dogs. They'll do what they will.
Oh yeah, of course
they'll do whatever they want to. And so these 2 dogs, especially Messy and what are we saying, Audi?
I don't know. I believe you're supposed to pronounce it Audi, but I like to say Audi.
Okay.
It sounds cooler for a dog.
Messy and Audi are 2 dogs that live across the street from each other in Thailand, and they have so for the last year or so. But because they're just across the street, they've developed a close friendship, or as close as they can be without actually meeting face to face.
Right.
And one night, the owner of Audi noticed that Audi would often cry when left outside in his yard by himself. And so, this was the neighbor. So the neighbor would dispatch her dog, the sweet, friendly Messy, outside into their yard to provide some comfort. And Messy would bark a little bit, seemed to help Audie feel a little bit better. And she said, I don't know that they are communicating. I do, but he stops crying. Then one day Audie got loose, and he seized the chance to finally have contact with Messy, who welcomed him with a warm embrace. And the picture of this is literally 2 dogs, and their paws are up on this fence, and I think it's the cutest picture I've ever seen. The owner of Audi said, or the owner of Messy said, he ran into my dog. Maybe it was anyway. He ran into my dog, and they hugged each other. And they shared a picture on social media, which I will share promptly in a few minutes. But I think it's the cutest photo I've ever seen of dogs. And I mean, these dogs are just photogenic. But it's a husky and I'm trying to think of what kind of picture or what kind of dog this is. Is it a
I'm terrible at my dog breeds. I could have told you the one on the right was the husky, but I don't know. Maybe some
golden?
golden retriever mix or something
Golden
like that.
retriever.
Yeah, that.
Like I said, I'll post this on the show or on the Topic Talks Facebook page in a few minutes. But yeah, these dogs look like they're hugging, and it's fantastic. And I don't know. I don't know. I just can't handle myself. It's great. What would you do if you had a dog in this particular situation?
You know, just seeing. I'm looking right now at the photo of them, the two dogs actually embracing, and it's just
Over a fence.
It's really tickling. I guess the only relation I have is granted it's different type of animal, but my two cats kind of have a
They're crazy.
very much so, but no, they have a kind of a love-hate relationship with my upstairs neighbor's cat. They let their cat out on their patio above us, and they have it's kind of I'm in a sub-level apartment, so they have a balcony which is slightly over my window, but my cats, while sitting on my windowsill, can look up to the balcony and see this other cat staring down at them. And I always kind of wonder if there'd be an opportunity for them to play, how that would exactly turn out. But I know they're different temperament. I think they'd probably want to rip each other's face clean off. But
maybe not.
I'd say it could be surprising. I know that with again, when I got my second cat, I think it was about a year ago. It was kind of, a similar situation to this. They kind of meow at each other, make noises, because I'd kept them separate for, at least the first couple of weeks or so, and they had each other. But, I got up this morning and they were, playing with each other and hanging out. I mean, they don't really hug like this, but, they kind of bumping each other with their cheeks and everything like that, kind of just running into each other and, just doing cat things, the body
just
language.
doing cat things.
Yeah, well, like the tail in the air, rubbing their face on everything, just wanting to spread the love, if you will. So,
right.
I definitely, I think myself included, most people have that general soft spot for, seeing animals, show affection or just, any kind of love to another person, another animal. It's just definitely nice because, you think these two dogs, technically never known each other. They've just, maybe heard each other, kind of may got a glimpse through the fence or something like that. But it's definitely, it looks like definitely a friendship that's going to last.
Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah. I don't even know. It's just, and it looks like they're so happy too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And like my dog doesn't give hugs. He's not really one. He kind of will. He'll jump up.
Right.
And you can kind of get him to give you a hug, but then you got to watch out because he might nibble on your ear or something. Or he'll lick your face.
It's just his way of showing affection and everything like
it
that.
is.
And it's kind of, it's almost like, I don't know, I always consider it passive aggressive, because our mutual friend Tyler, their family used to have a boxer. Did you ever meet Norman?
I did meet Norman plenty of times.
He was a little different, they always told me in his body language, but he would do the same kind of thing. You come in the door, he'd jump up and put his paws on your chest. And from what I read about boxers, I actually had the opportunity to babysit for him for about a week, I think.
Did you?
Yeah, and he's a very loving dog. He's I don't know if I said before he was a boxer.
You did.
But they left me a little book about them, and I'm like, oh, I'll read it. I'll kind of check it out and everything. It's almost like the step-by-step guide to owning a boxer dog. And I'm like, yeah, this is kind of cool.
Sure,
and,
why not?
When I was reading about him, he would do as you mentioned, your dog. He would do the same thing, jump up, put his paws on your chest, and it was almost like a passive aggressive kind of body language thing. If I remember correctly, it was, kind of to say, hey, I'm just as big as you, but we're cool. And, it was, it's definitely interesting, cause I mentioned with my cats, when I come in the door or my girlfriend comes in the door, they both, will run from whatever they're doing. My one cat, Vinny, he's very fat. So he just kind of lays there and chatters at you sometimes, but usually they'll jump up and, tail up in the air, rubbing their face on everything, and kind of my little kitten, she lays on the floor and rolls on her back and, hey, touch my belly and everything like that. So, of course, that's with reacting with another human, and then with each other, they're kind of, like I said, they're cats.
They tolerate each
they're
other.
little demons, and their little four-legged furry bodies. But yeah, they'll get affectionate like this, but I've never seen them hug. I thought they were hugging once, found out they were just biting each other.
Let me tell you what, when you own 2 Yorkies and a German Shepherd, they don't hug.